Hey guys, it's Vera Wylde, and it is time once again for Dear Vera. This is a little bit of a long letter, and I actually had to trim it down a bit, so I'll try to rush through it. I was wondering if you might be able to help me with a little dilemma I'm having. I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for just over a year. Early on in our relationship, she discovered that I'm a cross-dresser. After explaining everything to her, she said that she accepted it. Now for the dilemma. She can accept it, but I guess you can say doesn't approve of it. She gives me a hard time, whether it is just talking about it or if I make an offhand joke. Recently, she attended an LGBT retreat. After she got back, she seemed easier to talk to, but I try avoiding the subject. Whenever possible, I do still dress. A few times she almost caught me, but she never said anything. When I dress, I tend to feel guilty. Going to other dressers for advice, they just say break up with her. I don't know really what to do. I want to try and talk to her about it, but I'm afraid that I'll either push her away or she just won't even bother talking about it. I will mention that I told her that if it came down to it, I would give up dressing for good, and if she could never get used to it, that is what I would do for her. I really don't know what to do at this point, and I know that there isn't really any straightforward answer, but I really would like a starting point. Thank you for everything that you do for all of us. And this is from Rebecca. You know, Rebecca, it really sounds like you're in a bit of a tight situation that a lot of us can find ourselves into, which is that you have someone who obviously cares about you and who you care about and who is trying to be accepting, but isn't really. Because you need to understand that there's a difference between acceptance and tolerance. What it sounds like right now is that she's tolerating your dressing. She, in as much as she does not intend to break up with you over it. But it doesn't really sound like she's accepting, because if she were accepting it, even if she, wasn't being an active part of it, she wouldn't be giving you a hard time of it, and you shouldn't be feeling guilty. The very fact that they use terms like "she almost caught me," makes it very clear that the way that she feels about it has sort of given you a bit of shame about the dressing, because you feel like you're going to get caught because you're doing something bad and wrong when you aren't. I don't want to tell you or to tell anyone what to do with their relationship, to break up or to stay with someone. What I would say, though, is if going to the LGBT retreat helped her understand a bit more, try and go to more functions like that and go with her. Go together so that it can function a little bit like group or relationship therapy almost. I would be incredibly careful about what you said in terms of being willing to give it all up to stay with her, because for most of us, this stems from something intrinsic in ourselves. This doesn't go away. I mean, we can get rid of the clothes, we can get rid of the makeup, we can try and stop behaving like this, but the inner workings of us that cause all this to come out, they don't go away. I mean, they just don't. And I've seen and I've heard stories, and I've known far too many dressers who are so consumed with guilt and shame, and who just purge all their stuff and get rid of all their clothes, and then go through very dangerous bouts of depression because they're trying to shut off a part of who they are, and they've assigned a lot of guilt to something that is just part of you. So, I understand that you love her, and I would say that your relationship, as described in this letter, is not in a good place relative to the cross-dressing. She needs to work harder at truly accepting you this way. Again, that doesn't mean she has to help you do your makeup, or she even has to see you in dress, but she needs to understand that this is part of who you are, and this is something that you'll do. I mean, much in the same way that if you were a football nut, she didn't like football, she would let you go off and watch a football game, she'd find something else to do. Well, you cross-dress. She has no interest in your cross-dressing. You can go off and do that on your own. She'll find something else to do. It's just it's a part of you that she needs to actually truly accept, not simply tolerate. Because if she's giving you a hard time about it, if she's assigning guilt to this, that's a problem. Again, I'm not saying to break up with her. I would hope that the pair of you could work through this, but do know that the relationship, as you described it to me, really feels like a concoction that can't last, and something's going to break. So I would encourage you again to go with her to more LGBT events, so she can see more people like you and more people sort of in that whole vein and area, and hopefully it will grant her additional understanding, and hopefully everything can move forward from there. So I wish you the very best of luck, and until next time, guys, keep those questions coming.